So for my speech today, I have 4 online audience members.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
Hi, I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Carol.
Hi, I'm Haley.
And then my 5th member is here in person with me. So with that, I will get started. Alarmingly, accidental shootings of children are a significant problem in the United States. The number of shootings by children rose past 400 in 2023, which according to Everytown Research and Policy, was the highest number since they began keeping track in 2015. Every year, hundreds of children in the United States are accessing loaded firearms and harming themselves or someone else. This is a public health epidemic that needs to come to an end. Having firsthand experience with gun violence, I know these types of situations can come out of anywhere at any time. My purpose today is to inform you of the very real issue of accidental death and injury due to the unsafe use of firearms and what you can do to be a part of the solution to this problem. I aim to call attention into practicing gun safety, which is ultimately about bringing peace of mind and preventing tragedy, while also highlighting what is causing accidental injury and death among children and how to be a part of the solution. The problem society is facing today has to do with the fact that standards are not where they should be when it comes to safety. Much of the debate with gun violence has to do with keeping guns out of the hands of potential killers, but less attention is paid to the victims. More than 25% of children witnessed an act of violence in their homes, schools, or community over the past year, and 5% have witnessed a shooting. This becomes an issue of both gun regulation and of addressing the impact on victims who have been traumatized by this type of violence. One aspect having to do with the debate about gun regulations is the mental health of those involved. The primary focus has to do with the mental well-being of the perpetrators of gun crimes. While a lot can be done to address the problems linked to the perpetrators with mental illness, that conversation alone will not address all the problems having to do with gun violence. Every year, thousands of children die due to gun violence in the United States. Roughly 1,300 children under the age of 18 die due to shootings annually. Around 40% of all unintentional gun-related deaths for children 11 to 14 years of age happen in a friend's home. Additionally, adolescents are at a higher risk for suicide when there is a firearm in their home. And now I will show my first presentation aid. So that is the first one. The cause of poor gun safety standards has to do with the fact that there is a lot of misinformation about the severity of the dangers surrounding firearms. With so many different views on guns in the United States, there are a lot of myths and false information circulating around sources such as the internet and social media. A lot of parents are unaware of how dangerous a gun in the home can actually be. 75% of children who live in a home with a firearm know where it is stored, contrary to their parents trying to hide it. Parents also believe that their child will not handle a gun because they should know better. This is false, as findings report that most children will in fact touch a gun if they find one. The capabilities of both children and guns are far more extensive than some people may want to believe. Children are more capable than we think. The majority of parents do not believe that their child is capable of firing a gun. In reality, children may have the strength to shoot a gun as early as 3 years old. It is thought that children know the difference between real and toy guns. However, in 16% of unintentional shootings, the gun was mistaken for a toy. Some parents deem BB guns, pellet guns, and paintball guns to be toys. These guns can actually fire at the speed of traditional guns, which lead to almost 22,000 injuries per year, according to Nationwide Children's Hospital. With all of the false information put out into the world, it is important to make sure we are educating ourselves on how we can make safety a top priority. There are very many steps gun owners can take to work towards solving the issue at hand. Safe storage is key to success. A lot needs to be considered when figuring out where the best place to store a firearm may be. Every individual situation will vary, but there are a number of options when it comes to how to store your firearm. According to NRA Family, trigger locks, cable locks, gun cases, security cases, lock and gun cabinets, and safes are some of the ways guns can be securely stored. If there are children in the home, guns should be stored in an inaccessible location for them. Along with an inaccessible location, firearms should also always be unloaded when they are in use. not in use. Another tip for keeping everyone safe would be to store the ammunition in a separate location from where the gun is kept. Along with safe storage, there are other steps that can be taken to create a world with less harm caused by guns. Avoiding substance use before using firearms is a huge step in the right direction. Using alcohol or other substances such as drugs increases the risk of violence and injury in all kinds of situations, and picking up a gun is no exception. There are ways that those who are not gun owners can be a part of the solution as well. According to the Educational Fund to Stop Gun Violence, lethal means safety counseling is a healthcare intervention which aims to prevent unintentional firearm injuries and deaths. Providers work with families to reduce the risk of injury by improving their patients' safer storage practices. More in-depth information is provided for people at an elevated risk of unintentional injury, such as patients with dementia or cognition impairments. You don't have to be a gun owner to receive this type of information, and passing this information on to those who are gun owners is only beneficial. It was my goal to call attention to practicing gun safety, which is ultimately about bringing peace of mind and preventing tragedy, while also highlighting what is causing accidental injury and death among children and how to be a part of the solution. My purpose today was to make you aware of the severity of unsafe gun use and the risk of death and unintentional injury that comes along with it, while providing you with information on how you can be a part of the solution to the problem. With the collective effort to make your responsibility a priority, we are taking a step in the right direction when it comes to safe gun ownership and potentially saving a tremendous amount of lives.